Jackie Chan Adventures is probably one of the most underrated cartoon series out there. Jackie's humor and catchy accent combined with his fighting skills gave us 5 seasons of pure enjoyment. So sit tight because we are about to cover it all. To understand how Jackie Chan evolved, we have to go all the way back to the start. In this series, Jackie is an archaeologist working with his uncle in his artifact shop. Of course, he has killer martial arts skill, and that is why he is hired by Section 13, a secret government organization to stop the demonic dragon Shendu that's out to get the magical cheese talismans and artifacts with the help of his sidekick gang, Darkhand. He goes around on all these adventures with his uncle and his niece Jade. And of course, there are other characters that drop in, like one of Darkhand's member Toru joining the gang at one point. With that said, let's dive in. Season 1. In the very first episode of the series, Captain Augustus Black, a friend of Jackie's who headed up a secretive organization called Section 13, asked Jackie to look into the Dark Hand, a criminal group. Jackie had crossed paths with them before when he was recovering a golden shield. So, with the help of his uncle and Jade, Jackie started digging into what the Dark Hand was up to. It became clear that their leader, Valmont, had a mission to collect 12 special talismans, each representing an animal from the Chinese zodiac. The first talisman, the Rooster Talisman, was hidden inside the shield Jackie had found, and Valmont even held Uncle hostage until Jackie gave up the shield.
Okie dokie, you want the shield? Catch!
However, what the Chans didn't know at that time was that Valmont was collecting these talismans for his client, Shendu, a demonic dragon sorcerer who was trapped by magic. Shendu didn't just want his freedom, he also provided the Dark Hand with a group of mysterious ninjas known as the Shadow Khan. Luckily, Jade, being clever, had already swapped the talisman out. Good job, Jade.
Admit it, I'm getting wise.
In the third episode, Jackie set off to Mexico to track down the Ox Talisman. However, Valmont's goons, the Enforcers, were hot on his trail and the talisman had already fallen into someone else's hands. Meanwhile, Jade made a new friend named Paco, a die-hard fan of the Mexican masked wrestler El Toro Fuerte. Turns out the talisman was attached to El Toro's mask, granting him superhuman strength that he was totally unaware of.
What happened to you? You lost that match so fast and he gave you such a whooping.
Ultimately, Darkhand's enforcers snatched the mask from El Toro, abducted Jackie, and left El Toro questioning his achievements in the ring. Paco felt heartbroken, discovering that his hero's power was just a sham.
Jackie.
Luckily, Jade stepped in and convinced El Toro to believe in his own strength. And so, together with Jade, El Toro joined forces to rescue Jackie and retrieve the talisman, all to regain his honor, thwart the Dark Hand, and bring an end to their mischief. And they ended up winning when Jade threw a lethal kick powered by the talisman itself.
Can I keep it, Jackie?
No.
Aww.
In episode 4, Jackie was in a New York City museum trying to convince the museum boss to hand over the snake talisman before Darkhand got their hands on it. But unlucky him, a famous lady thief named Viper had already accidentally robbed the snake talisman. Turns out this talisman could make you invisible. Now Jackie and Jade, who were on a mission to get the talisman back, found themselves in a race against time to stop Viper from using it to steal precious jewels all around New York City. Jackie also had to dodge the police who mistook him for Viper, and he had to make Viper realize that the Dark Hand was closing in on her. In the end, thanks to Jade's help, they managed to swipe the talisman back. Even though the police caught them, they couldn't care less about Jackie and Jade, and were mostly busy freaking out about the Statue of Liberty that had gone invisible because of the talisman.
Then give me back the Puma. I have to return it. The police think I took it. Please.
In episode 5, both Jade and the Dark Hand found out that a huge tortoise at the city's aquarium had the rabbit talisman.
Man, that's rough on the throat.
This talisman gave its user super speed powers, and Jade was totally surprised when she learned they planned to sell it to a mean millionaire named Nivor. He wanted to chow down on the poor tortoise after they took the talisman off its shell. Now Jackie had a double mission. get the talisman and rescue Aesop, the tortoise.
Careful, that one turns you into a chocolate bunny.
So after Jackie grabbed the talisman, he used its super speed to hop onto Nivor's fancy yacht and put a stop to the chef's plan to cook the poor thing. In the end, they stashed the talisman in Section 13, and Aesop was safe and sound back at the zoo. In episode 6, Jackie successfully retrieved the sheep talisman,
Jackie!
Uncle!
What did you bring me?
The sheep talisman?
which allowed the person to send their spirit out of their body. However, Jade decided to have some fun with it.
Work already!
While her spirit was out and about, the sneaky Dark Hand snatched the talisman without anyone noticing and handed it over to Shendu. But when Shendu learned about Jade's little adventure from Valmont's crew, he quickly projected his own spirit into her body, hoping to also grab the other talisman stored in Section 13. By some miracle, Jade managed to send a warning to Uncle through his dreams, and this forced Jackie to step in and prevent Shendu from carrying out his plan long enough for Uncle to kick his spirit out of Jade's body.
But I guess it's because of you that the rest are still safe in Section 13.
Cool! So can we ride again?
However, the sheep talisman ended up with Shendu. I swear, as much as Jade helped, she sure did get the gang into some seriously tight spots. Now, in episode 7, Valmont had had enough of Shendu's control in his gang. So, when his guys returned with the dragon talisman, Valmont figured out that it let its user shoot fiery dragon flames. Sneakily, he decided to rob the United States Mint for some money without Shendu knowing. But things got worse when Captain Black ended up in the hospital during Valmont's robbery. This really ticked off Jackie, and he held a grudge against Valmont. But he knew he needed to put his anger aside and use his brains. So, when Valmont planned to steal gold from Fort Knox, Jackie had to stay calm and take him down, especially with Uncle and Jade helping him. However, in the end, despite Jackie defeating Valmont by sinking his raft with the stolen gold, he failed to get the talisman back. Shendu's Shadow Khan arrived, taking the talisman from Valmont, and the dude got seriously confronted by Shendu. Served him right.
Jackie, the M word.
But you saw it! The dragon power injured you!
In the next episode, episode 8, Jackie got the rat talisman, which could bring things to life. But when he returned with it, he slipped on one of Jade's toys and broke his leg for real.
On a child's toy, break your bones! Wah ha ha!
And to make matters worse, the talisman somehow ended up inside the toy's battery compartment, making the toy come to life and causing chaos. Things got even crazier when Valmont grabbed the toy, thinking he could use it to get the other talismans. But his plan went hilariously wrong when Jade tried to lure the toy with its rival character, and Toru, the big dude from the Dark Hand, accidentally squashed the poor toy. The talisman came out from the toy and into its giant version standing nearby. This giant thing took on the Dark Hand all by itself. And even though Jackie eventually got the talisman back, the poor guy ended up with both of his legs broken in the process.
Yeah, except for the part where I slipped and fell off and landed on Jackie.
In episode 9, Jackie gets his hands on the horse talisman, which has the special power to heal. Only Valmont tricks him into a trap at Mount Rushmore. They actually infect Jackie with a poison that slowly turns people into stone. Valmont tells him that he'll only get the antidote if he hands over all the talismans from Section 13. Jackie refuses, but Jade takes matters into her own hands. She decides to save Jackie and swaps Black's card to steal all the talismans. But just as she's about to give them to the enforcers, Jackie shows up to stop her, and to her horror, the enforcers intentionally destroy the antidote. With that, Jackie totally turns into stone, but luckily, Jade realizes that the horse talisman can heal and uses it to bring Jackie back to normal.
I told you I would bring the antidote. You must never question Uncle.
In episode 10, Jackie and Jade once again face Darkhand. They all wanted to get their hands on the monkey talisman, which lets you transform into any animal or creature. But things got pretty stupid when Jade accidentally turned herself into a monkey while trying to stop the Dark Hand. And as if that wasn't enough, a real monkey swiped the talisman, and Jackie had to go on a mission to find it before the Dark Hand did. They ran into a bit of trouble, but then Jade, still in monkey form, snuck in and grabbed the talisman. What followed was a hilarious showdown where the enforcers, Jackie, and Jade all started turning each other into different creatures. Eventually, Jade turned Jackie into a kangaroo, and the gang made a quick getaway thanks to the thousands of monkeys Jade set loose on the enforcers.
Hi, Mom.
Mom?
In episode 11, Jackie successfully gets the dog talisman, which can make its user immortal. He not only beats Valmont's top fighter Toru, but also causes him to accidentally break the Dark Hand's talisman detector during the scuffle. Valmont was really mad at Toru for this mess up. And so, to retrieve the pig talisman, he hired a martial arts expert named Hak Fu for help instead of Toru.
Looks can be deceiving.
In Bavaria, Jade and Uncle eventually found the pig talisman, only to get a surprise when both Hak Fu and Toru showed up to claim it. Toru was determined to regain his honor by getting the talisman before Hak Fu did. And turns out Hak Fu was a tough opponent for Jackie, but luckily Uncle had been wearing the dog talisman, which totally made him all young and helped Jackie give Hak Fu and Toru a good beating. In the 12th episode, Jackie and Jade managed to defeat Toru and took the tiger talisman. They didn't know that this talisman could split a person into two parts, yin and yang. Unfortunately, it happened to Jackie, and his dark side was caught by Valmont, who captured Jackie's dark half and persuaded him to give the other talismans from Section 13. When Jade and Uncle found out, they tried to stop this with Jackie's yin side, but Toru got his hands on the talismans. Even though Jackie's yin and yang sides eventually teamed up to stop Valmont, they couldn't stop him from using the talismans, and finally setting Shendu free from his prison and transforming back into a demonic dragon. In episode 13, season finale, Shendu is now restored into his true form, a 30-foot humanoid demonic dragon, and even refused to give Valmont his reward in helping him. Stingy, dude. Valmont, all angry, ordered Toru to attack Shendu, but Shendu easily defeated him, and poor Valmont's crew even got arrested by Captain Black. Meanwhile, Uncle, Jackie, and Section 13 agents headed to China to stop Shendu from unleashing his dragon army during Chinese New Year. During the fight, Jackie received a magical bomb that could remove the talismans from Shendu and turn him back into a statue. Jackie struggled to get the rat talisman, while Jade, being Jade, defied orders and joined, grabbing the dog talisman. With Jade's help, Jackie successfully removed the rat talisman, turning Shendu into a statue, and Jade used the dragon talisman to completely destroy Shendu. However, Uncle was quite upset about Shendu's destruction and warned that it could attract an even stronger evil. Despite this, the Chan celebrated. And to everyone's surprise, Jade got to stay with them for another year, and even Toru decided to leave his criminal past behind and started working at Uncle's shop. Season 2. In episode 5, Valmont was eager to rebuild his gang after Section 13 shut down their base following Shendu's defeat. To achieve this, he decided to commit crimes using the talismans the Dark Hand managed to recover. Jackie, Jade, Uncle, and Captain Black all joined forces to stop Valmont and his gang. Little did they know, Shendu returned to the world as a spirit with a sinister plan to conquer the world alongside his demonic companions. However, due to an unexpected accident, Shendu ended up possessing Valmont instead of Jackie. Seizing the opportunity, Shendu used Valmont's body to steal a book from Uncle's library. Meanwhile, Jackie and Black were left to deal with the Shadow Khan as Shendu escaped with the stolen book. In episode 6, Captain Black found himself in a tough spot as he tried hard to convince his bosses that magic existed, but he didn't succeed. So he told Jackie to go after the Dark Hand, get back the talismans, and find out what Shendu was up to. Meanwhile, Uncle figured out that Shendu had stolen a book that talked about a bunch of magical artifacts in Tibet. To give Jackie a hand, Jade put together a team with her friends like El Toro, Viper, and Paco. They quickly outsmarted the Dark Hand and got back the talismans. But Uncle soon figured out that Shendu wanted to free his demon buddies using a magical artifact that was holding them in some kind of portal. Even though they sent the talismans back to Section 13, Jackie and Jade had a new mission. They needed to stop Shendu's plan to take over the world and make sure those demons didn't get out of their portals. In episode 30, Jackie came across an ancient suit of armor, which Uncle identified as the same armor worn by the warriors who once sealed Shendu and his demon buddies away. Upon Uncle's advice, Jackie decided to bring the armor with him to Spain for protection, especially when the Dark Hand located a demon portal belonging to Dai Gui, a demon with power over the earth within the country. However, things got complicated when Jackie realized that Jade had used a sleeping potion on Uncle because he wouldn't stop complaining, not realizing the trouble it could cause. Toru and Jade arrived at the scene of the battle with Uncle still fast asleep. They pretended that Uncle was awake and started working on a chi spell. Luckily, Uncle woke up and with a thread from his wool vest, they completed the spell, sending Daigui back into his portal. I hope they know better and suffer Uncle's blabber from now on.
One more thing! You should never question Uncle!
In episodes 27 to 28, Shendu found himself in trouble with his fellow demons but talked them into giving him one more chance. He escaped his prison, took over Jackie's body, and went to Australia to find a hidden temple with a magical book called the Book of Ages. This book could change reality by rewriting history. Although the Chans tried to stop him, Shendu succeeded in changing history, not knowing that Jade tore a page with her story on it. Jade found herself in a strange world ruled by Shendu and the other demons. She had to find her family and convince them to help her fix things. But there was a problem when Shendu caught them stealing his powerful talismans. Jade, Uncle, and Jackie escaped with some talismans and used Jade's memories to find their friends around the world. They also worked to seal away some of the demons using old spells. When Shendu realized that his plan was falling apart, he brought the remaining demons to Australia to stop Jade from fixing history. This led to a big battle over the book. In the end, Jade, Paco, and Uncle found a portal to the Book of Ages, which gave Uncle the power to banish the remaining demons.
In all honesty, it is Jade who sometimes trains me.
Season 3. In episode 2, a new villain, Daolan Wong, entered the picture. He traveled to San Francisco with the aim of stealing the powers of the 12 talismans, while Valmont also ordered his Dark Hand enforcers to do the same. To stop this, Jackie destroyed the talismans, hoping it would prevent Wong from getting their powers. However, Uncle revealed that instead of stopping Wong, this action scattered the talisman powers across the world and into 12 animals linked to the Chinese zodiac. They soon figured out that Wong was on his way to a dog show since the chosen dog for the dog talisman must be there. Wong had even taken control of Valmont's enforcers, turning them into his new demon warriors. He sent them after Jackie when they discovered that a stray dog named Scruffy possessed the power of the talisman. Thankfully, just in the nick of time, they managed to defeat Wong and take Scruffy to Section 13. There, Toru cast a protective spell to keep Wong and his warriors from causing any more trouble, while preparing to search for the remaining 11 animals. In episode 15, the Chans had managed to find almost all of the animals connected to the talismans except for the dragon. Daolan Wong, wanting to get his hands on the dragon talisman's power, struck a deal with Shendu. He agreed to help Shendu come back to life in exchange for assistance. The Chans quickly figured out what was going on, but they couldn't stop the demonic dragon's revival. Once Shendu was back, he betrayed Wong just like he did with Valmont and took back the dragon talisman's power along with the one the Dark Wizard had obtained. Now, Jackie and Jade found themselves in a tough spot, needing to protect the other Zodiac animals from Shendu at all costs. But Uncle soon realized that Wong was the only one who knew how to stop Shendu and learned to cast the spell that separated him from his powers and turned him back to stone 900 years ago. Uncle Toru and all the agents from Section 13 reenacted the spell just as Jackie delivered a powerful blow to the dragon just before the spell turned him back into a statue. Shendu then ended up sealed away in a vault in Section 13, kept apart from the talismans by a huge steel door. Season 4. In the first episode of Season 4, Daolan Wong and the enforcers were locked up in prison. However, they accidentally brought forth the demon Tarakudo while trying to break free. When the Chans learned about this, they quickly followed the demon to Shendu's palace. Toru recognized Tarakudo from Japanese stories, even though Uncle thought he was Chinese. Tarakudo turned out to be the leader of the Oni, a bunch of Japanese demons that once terrorized the world with 9 tribes of Shadowkan. These demons were locked away in masks by ancient warriors. When one of the enforcers put on an Oni mask that Shendu had been using to control the Shadowkan, Toru was the only one who knew how to remove it with a spell. They used this spell on Jackie and his hand started glowing with green magic. He managed to tear off the mask. However, Toru informed them that there were more masks scattered around the world, which meant Jackie and Jade had another quest on their hands. In episode 10, Daolan Wong was let out of prison for good behavior. So, Jackie, Jade, and Uncle went to an ancient temple in China to stop him from getting his hands on the Deja Vu Stone. This was a special object that could take you back in time and allow you to change events from your past. They knew that Wong wanted it to regain his magical powers, so Jackie tried to thwart his plans. However, their confrontation accidentally caused both Jackie and Wong to relive moments from their past. Jade and Uncle found themselves compelled to help Jackie somehow as he attempted to identify the specific moment from his past that the artifact had taken them to before Wong could. In the end, Jackie obtained the stone and briefly contemplated keeping Jade away from adventures to ensure her safety, but he ultimately changed his mind. While assisting Uncle in tracking a powerful source of magic at a nearby junkyard, the Chans came across a mysterious woman who turned out to be Jade's older self from the future. Jackie and Jade learned that she was on a mission to prevent Shendu's son, Drago, another demonic dragon, from reviving Shendu using a set of dragon teeth, which were the source of the energy readings. As they realized that both their own future selves and Uncle were in danger, Jackie teamed up with future Jade to thwart Drago and destroy the teeth, even though Jade was willing to risk her future to help. Unfortunately, Drago managed to take the teeth from Uncle once he found them. However, Jade and her future self outsmarted Drago by teasing him so much that he breathed out a fiery attack, which they cleverly used to destroy the teeth. Back at Section 13, Drago was locked while Jackie tells future Jade how proud he is of her and bids farewell. So sweet. Season 5. In Season 5, Episode 1, Uncle got worried about the way the stars were lined up, thinking it was a bad sign. And guess what? He was spot on. Shendu's son, Drago, managed to escape from Section 13. Turns out, Drago wanted to soak up some special demon energy from his dad's demon pals who were trapped in weapons. So, Jackie and Jade ended up in a race against the clock. They had to grab this fan thing that could beat the wind demon Zhao Fang. The heat was on since Drago brought in the enforcers to help him, even though they had failed before. He did something strange and turned them into part human, part dragon creatures. Meanwhile, Jade started burping a lot, and it turned out she was absorbing demonic chi without even knowing it. Her burps got super strong at school, and she started turning into a frog. Drago showed up at Jade's school to steal her energy, but Uncle and Toru arrived in the nick of time and grabbed the chi instead.
Removal spell was for wind demon chi, not fire demon chi. Pay attention!
This led Drago to kick out the enforcers and turn them back into regular humans because they didn't really help him much. In Episode 3, Drago teamed up with Strike Master Ice and his buddies, giving them a boost of his demon chi power and asked them to help him get 2 flowers. One containing the chi of the earth demon Dai Gui, and the other holding the chi of the moon demon So Lan. The Chans had their hands full trying to stop this plan, and it also happened to be Jade's birthday, which made her pretty annoyed. They soon figured out that Uncle Chi's collection device, the Chi-O-Matic, could only hold one demon chi essence at a time. This created a big problem because they needed both demons' chi. Drago and Jackie ended up absorbing 1 chi each and got into a scuffle. Luckily, with the help of Chi's power, Jackie managed to overpower Drago, and Uncle then extracted the chi from Drago using his Chi-O-Matic, and later used it on Jackie back at Section 13 to store it safely in the vault. In Episode 9, Drago figured out that lightning made his Thunder Demon Chi even stronger. So he took control of Seattle's Space Needle and made a powerful rod that could harness the lightning from a recent storm to wreak havoc. Drago grabbed the Thunder Demon Chi and went to a new hideout to amplify his powers. The Chans needed to get rid of the Thunder Chi before it became permanently fused with Drago. While Jade and Drago's pals had a showdown below, Uncle and Jackie headed to the tower and used the Chi-O-Matic to extract the Thunder Chi once more. Honestly, is it just me, or Drago's doing worse than his daddy Shendu against the Chans? In Episodes 11 through 12, things got really intense. Drago did something really bad. He kidnapped Captain Black, Uncle, and Jackie and said he'd only let them go if he was given all the demon chi. And that's how he managed to get all 8 demon chi and started calling his demon friends. But Jade came up with a plan. She asked Toru to create a spell to mess up Drago's plans. Surprisingly, even Strike Master Ice and his gang turned against Drago since they wanted the demon chi for themselves. Luckily, Uncle was able to remove the demon chi, but before he could put it into the Chi-O-Matic, Drago used a spell to absorb all of it. Things got really chaotic and even Shendu offered to help. Of course, Uncle refused, but then something unexpected happened. Dark Hand's enforcers and Hawk Fu showed up at Uncle's shop offering their help. While a big battle was happening, and with Section 13 crumbled, Jade arrived and gave the rabbit, ox, snake, and dragon talismans one by one to Jackie, El Toro, Viper, and Captain Black to help them fare against Drago and the Ice Gang, who were now trying to regain Drago's trust. Soon, Uncle showed up too and surprised everyone by turning Shendu back into his human form. He believed that demon must fight demon, and so Shendu went head-to-head with Drago. Jade realized that Shendu needed all his powers to win, so she told everyone to throw their talismans at Shendu. But before things got too crazy, both Toru and Uncle cast a chi spell that opened a gateway to the demon netherworld. In the end, Drago and Shendu got sucked into the gateway and Ice and his gang were turned back into humans. And the Jackie Chan adventure series ended with both main menacing villains gone for good. Finally.
You want me to be a real secret agent? Can I, Jackie? Please!
Well, we'll talk later.
Hey,